Welcome to the TCAD 10-minute take. It is I, Sheree Stewart, writer, actor, candlestick maker, and my co-host, Don the Legend Chambers, where we take our normal TCAD podcast and we condense it down to 10 minutes, and we're talking about one movie and one movie only. Today we're talking about Creed 2.
Creed 2. Yes. Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, continuing the Rocky universe.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let me set the timer. And Don, you can go.
All right. There's really not much to say. Everybody knows what this one's about. It's where Ivan Drago and his son, they're going to fight Adonis. And that's really the basic gist of the movie. Now, what I will say for this movie is probably the only con I have on this movie is the fighting sequence don't feel as visceral as in Creed. Now, I know they're not going to be as over-the-top crazy as any of the Rocky movies because those are the 80s and that was just a special time. But they're just not quite as, I mean, the boxing scenes in Creed, they had an energy that ran through them. They're close, but it's something in the way he does the shots that there's just a little something in the actual fight scene that could have been tweaked. Now, don't get me wrong. It's still exciting, and you still get hyped and get into it. And I think part of that is helped by the score. And, you know, once you hear the Rocky theme come through, it's just on and popping. But that's the only con I would have. To me, the biggest pro is this gets way more into story than I thought. And it actually made me kind of have feelings towards the Drago side of this all, which I was a little surprised that they were going to go and kind of give that perspective. So I was surprised at that, pleasantly shocked. I thoroughly enjoyed it because I'm just anything Rocky, I am there for. So I was probably going to like it anyway, unless they went a Rocky 5 route and just sunk this whole thing. But thankfully they didn't. To me, it's good. It's great. It was worth the matinee price. I'm there, right there, all the way. If I had to give it a number score.
That's it? Just a matinee?
Well, oh, sorry, not the matinee. I mean, I got confused myself. I mean, like opening night, I am right there, you know.
Okay.
But honestly, I'm so used to going to matinees to not pay like the $20 now to go.
Right.
It's on my mind, but no, it is right there, opening night on a Saturday or Sunday, prime time in there. Okay. And if I had to give it a number score, it'd probably be a solid 8. Give it a solid 8.
Okay.
And I hope they stop because to go anywhere else in this, I don't know where to make it as compelling.
Right.
But knowing how much money it makes, who knows?
Right. Okay, so I don't disagree with any of that. It was definitely a great movie. You could see that. I will say, though, that Ryan Coogler's touch on it was definitely missed. Like what you're saying with some of the fight scenes, and just he has a very nuanced way of doing certain things and setting up certain things. And I felt like that was definitely missed. Although Stephen Cable Jr., who took over for this, definitely was it was a good movie. Like he did a good job. It felt like a excellent sequel to Creed, but it was also, Stallone wrote this one. So in addition to being like a sequel to Creed, it was also a sequel to Rocky 4. And more than Creed, this one felt like a Rocky movie. Like there were some story beats and some structural elements that definitely made this more of a Rocky movie than Creed, the first one. The first one was more of an outside of the box. And I think that's something too, with the fight scenes being a bit more visceral was, Adonis in the first movie wasn't as polished of a fighter. And so it was a little more raw. There was a little more, that raw emotion. This is several years later. He's at the top of the boxing world. And so the fights were more of the choreographed dance of of boxing and less of like the street brawl type fight, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how it felt for me. It felt like the first one felt like watching Fame, like street dancing, and then this one was like ballet. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Like, equally entertaining and watchable and visceral, but just different, like just different styles of fighting. Yeah. I definitely, I mean, I might be making that up, but that's just what it felt like to me. I definitely felt Stallone. Like, I, as we were watching it, I was watching it in the theater. Okay, so first of all, I can't even, I'll talk about it in the main show because we had trauma going to go see it. But that doesn't, and the fact that we went out of our way to continue to go see this movie, and then it was worth all the trauma to go see it. Like, I would definitely say that this movie is worth a full price, like full tickets. I would probably buy some popcorn and a drink.
Oh yeah,
using my AMC Stubs points.
Oh yes,
like it was definitely a good movie. I think it could have been I think if Ryan Coogler was in it and had more of a hand in it, it would have been elevated even more. I do think it's a solid addition. It's certainly better than Rocky V, although that's not really saying much.
Yeah.
But it's definitely part of the Rocky box set. Like, I wouldn't feel bad about having that on the shelf with all the other Rocky movies by any stretch of the imagination. Like, it was a good, solid holiday movie. There was some things that were a little problematic, which we got into with the first movie with Tessa Thompson's character being progressively deaf.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's always kind of a gray area of representation when you have an actress who is not deaf playing, a deaf character, and you have all these, deaf actors who are not necessarily afforded the same opportunities, but, it's business and it's box office and whatever. And so then that's part of their story, is dealing with the possibility that their child might be. And then I do feel like the way it was handled, like, still Rocky's point of view on the situation was an excellent way to handle it. Like his advice. And that's
his advice was good. That
right,
was
because that's advice, that a lot of times people, when they have a child that might have disabilities or whatever, are not given. They, a lot of special episodes of TV or movies, like, they spend a lot of time making you feel like this thing is the end of the world, and it's not. It's just life. You just get over it. It's fine. Like, they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Like, there's going to be challenges, but it's not the end of the world. Like, sometimes, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes they make it seem like having a disability is the end of the world. And
it's not.
It's not fair. Like, that's some bullshit. But anyway, so I think they handled it really well. And I agree with you. I don't think that there should be another one, because they are, like, where are they going to go? Is he going to get, like, his version of Clubber Lang? Like, is he going to get, is it going to be like the Creed version of Rocky V? Like, you start running into weird territory with his character has had a really nice, complete arc, and his story feels finished. So I don't know, like, he's, got to the top of his profession, and he's kind of healed his personal situation, and I don't know where else they could take that story arc that would be compelling enough to warrant a sequel. But like you said, money talks in this industry, so
yeah. I mean, it's
Creed 3 might be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, but it's going back to what you just said, because I mean, the initial draw to Creed it's an expansion of the Rocky universe. Mm-hmm. The direct ties to Rocky, also the fact of Stallone in it. I mean, instantly, I mean, all the Rocky fans are going to want to know how we're expanding it, how we, and they wanted to bring up those old memories of those movies because they were great.
It had some good surprise character pop-ups. I don't want to give it away because I want you to go see it, but like some surprise cameos that happened that I was like, all right.
And then in the second one was that fight that everybody was talking like, oh, they've got to do that now.
Right.
Drago had to have this. I mean, it's that tie to the original Rocky universe. So like you're saying, it's like, unless it's Clubber Lang have a kid now, and
Right.
at a point, then it gets ridiculous, and then I don't see the tie anymore to the original universe. So then you have to ask, if it goes off on its own and wholly creates new characters now,
Right.
is that going to be enough that will bring those Rocky people
Well,
to
yeah.
it?
And I felt like, the original Rocky movies were what it means to be a man. Oh, and that's it.
Oh,
But the Creed
yeah,
movies are what it means to be a parent,
right.
and those kinds of. Um, I thought I heard something. The door like opened behind me, and just the kind of struggles that come with generational trauma, and
Yeah,
fathers and children. And I thought that was really smart and really clean. And it's, of course, it's obviously stories we've heard over and over again, but they never stop being compelling because they never stop being relevant.
hmm,
And if you tell it in a way that makes you feel something, then it doesn't matter if you've heard the story before. You haven't heard this version of
right,
the story.
exactly.
So I'm down. I'm down.
Oh,
Creed 2, Rocky 4 Part 2, we're down.
absolutely down, like 4 flat,
All
totally.
right. So I think this is the first time we're like fully in agreement on any.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming to the TCAT 10-minute take. Make sure you go ahead and listen to us on the TCAT podcast, where we'll talk a little bit more about Creed, probably in this next episode, and we'll talk about Netflix and Netflix originals and some Facebook drama and other business and sundry. So go to TCAT Network.
Yes.
Also, make sure you comment if you want us to watch any movies. Leave a comment below. We'll watch new movies. We'll watch old movies. We'll watch Netflix originals. We'll watch anything. Doesn't mean we'll like it, but we'll watch it. So leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get all new TCAT 10-minute takes as soon as we drop them.
Listen, the best place to find is tcadnetwork.com. That's the best place. Go to the website where we have culled all of our stuff on there. We've got all of our episodes. We've got all of our 10-minute takes. We've got Good Morning Antioch on there. Check it out. But if you kind of want to pick and choose where, we're on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on Hipcast. We also have our Facebook page, facebook.com/TCAT Podcast. We also are on Twitter at TCAT Podcast. Ms. Sheree Stewart is actor on The Edge. She's on Twitter. We're at Gmail at tcatpodcast@gmail.com, where you can also email us. We also have that great phone number.
You can give us a call at 504-345-9344.
You can do that. But again, all of that good stuff is on the website, tcadnetwork.com. That's where you need to go. Everything TCAT, everything you need to know to find out about us is right there to keep up on all the episodes and 10-minute takes. Right there for you. Can't get any simpler. Tell your friends. Share it. Make it a Christmas gift.
It's a free one.
And it's a free one. Doesn't get any better than free.
Bye.
See ya.